memory of Gautam Haldar and Onu Mukhopadhyay. So we are so proud and happy that Vidya Balan is with us, and she will interact with Shangita Datta about her film and other things and its memory of this particular film, Bhalo Theko. So I call Vidya Balan and Shangita, please.
আরে এই তো
দেখেছিস তো
Film Festival in its 30th year. Put your hands together for the wonderful talent sitting next to me, Vidya Balan. House rules, go by them. So welcome Vidya, you just arrived today.
Yes, thank you, and good afternoon, namaskar to everyone here. Before I say anything, I just want to say that it feels wonderful to be here. I remember 20 years, 21 years ago, 20 years ago, on the 25th of December, Bhalathiko released. And I can't believe it's been 20 years. As a matter of fact, just trivia, this is a sari gifted to me by Gautam Da and Choiti Bodhi, and I wore it for the premiere of Bhalo Theko, and I'm wearing it again today. It is my...
I think it just shows how thoughtful Vidya is as a human being. And I think when we are talking about a person's career, which we will be doing just now, it's also about the growth of an artist, it's about the growth of a person as a human being. A little known secret here maybe, Vidya was my student at St. Xavier's College in Bombay many, many years ago. A girl with spectacles, rather sober looking, who also came home when my son was born to see the baby. So it's, again, a large number of years have gone through, but it's such a delight to be sitting here with you. Since we've spoken about Gautam Da, and of course he looms large today in our presence, maybe we should reverse the order of some questions and start with that film.
Yes, Bhalo Theko, absolutely.
And while you were in college, you were already doing modeling, you were doing advertisements, commercial films, and then you were trying to make feature films. And there was that whole journey through Malayalam films, which didn't happen, Tamil films, which didn't happen, and then this script came to you from Gautam Da. So tell us about that.
I was actually here to do an ad film with Pradeep Sarkar, who we all fondly call Dada. And there was a production manager, Dinesh Raut, who actually saw me in the ad film. And Gautam Da was casting Bhalo Theko at that time. So he suggested my name to Gautam Da. And unfortunately, Dinesh Raut is also not amongst us anymore. So I'm sorry, but today is bringing back lots of memories for me. Of course, fond memories, but it also tugs at my heart. I will forever be grateful to Dinesh Raut, because not only did my career start with Bhalo Theko, but he introduced me to a wonderful human being. I'll never forget my first call with Gautam Da. I didn't know what it was like, how people in the film industry, how directors are. I didn't know how to read a script. I never read a script before. And Gautam Da was a very gentle-mannered man, and he spoke to me and he referred to me as Bidda. I remember correcting him the first time he said Bidda, because I didn't know that Bengalis say Bidda. But he continued to say that, so I said, okay, that's really not important. But he narrated the story to me in gist, and then he emailed me the script. As a matter of fact, I just checked, it's still in my inbox. So I read the script and I was thrilled. I was getting to do a movie in the land of rain. And for me, that was such a big thing. And I read the script and I spoke to him and I said, okay, I'm doing the film. And the next thing you know is I came here with my mother for the shoot and met Gautamda and Bodhi and Rai, who was very, very little at that time, their daughter. And it just felt like they invited me and my mum home. And I have to tell you that today I understand a lot of Bengali. Today I speak a smattering of it. But Gautam Da narrated to me in Bengali and I understood the story completely. I don't know how. It was just the feeling with which he narrated it. There were a couple of words in between that I didn't understand, and I stopped him and I asked him, what does this mean? What does that mean? But he narrated it to me and I could see, he was just, there was something, he just needed to tell this story, and I think that the love I saw in Gautam Da through the years after that is what I experienced in that first narration with him. His love for Anundi, the character, his love for all the characters, the story, which is why probably it spoke to me even though I didn't completely understand the language. And then, before we knew it, we were shooting. It was my first scene was with Soumitra Chatterjee, who's also no longer amongst us. So um, I was like, oh my God, my very first scene, I had to say Jatha Moshai, and firstly the pronunciation I couldn't get. So I remember he said, you can say Jethu. But I still worked on the pronunciation, I got it, and it was a lovely experience. We shot for about 15 to 18 days, that's all. We started on the 18th of May and we were done on the 3rd of June, if I'm not mistaken. And at one go, it was just amazing. We had Obhidda shooting it, we had Onupda doing sound, who's no longer amongst us either. God bless his soul, we lost him just a few months ago. And it felt like after that first scene with the Soumitra Chatterjee, where I have to say that I was comfortable because Gautam Da made me feel like I knew exactly what I had to do. He trusted everyone he worked with. There was always an atmosphere of, you'll do, don't worry. I think that for a newcomer to get that from a director was very precious. Honestly, I don't know what I've done in the film. I still don't know how I've done what I've done in the film. If I've done anything that is even remotely, it's very special to me, but a lot of people tell me that they've watched the film and that they really enjoyed watching it. It's because of Gautam Da. And I really, really miss him today. But I'm so grateful to Kiff for doing this in a tribute to him. And I have to also call out to Mo, where's she? Indrani, yeah, hi, who voiced, who dubbed, yes, Purvasha, sorry. Mo, I was going to say Mo and then I remember I tried dubbing for the film and Gautam Da said, you speak very good Bengali, we'll dub with you. But obviously I was, the little nuances were getting missed out. So then Mo dubbed for me and I was very happy to see her in the audience.
You could put a hand together for her. But you've had an affinity with Bengal or Bengali-ness. Somewhere in one of your interviews you've said, I think, was I Bengali? Or your
Not one
said,
of my interviews.
I
think I've said it forever. Ami mon theke Bangali. I don't know how that's happened. And Bengal has given me so much. They, you all have welcomed me with open arms, and I think I was bristling from the hurt I felt, from all the rejection I felt down south. And then this film happened, and it happened so beautifully, so effortlessly, that I was like, and just I think Bengal equals love. I really feel every time I don't come to Kolkata for a few months at a stretch, I feel a yearning. And my mother says, you know, you've never lived there. Why do you feel like that? I have no explanation for it. But I think because I yearn this love, I need my regular dose of it from time to time. And I will forever be grateful to Bengal for that love, which is what I think keeps bringing me back here. But I have to say that I've loved Bengali cinema. I love the Bengali culture, the language. So I've picked it up over the years. And I keep telling people, I'm Probashi Bengali. You know, so Shujoy keeps telling me, you're such a show off. Because just because you know the word Probashi, you just can't use it. But what the hell, I do.
What the hell? But you know, around that time, visually too, Madhavidi, and then your acting talent as well in that beautiful film, which is now such a cult classic. So tell us about your involvement with Parinita. How did that happen?
I was doing ad films and music videos with Pradeep Da, and he was writing a film, and he said, you know, I did a music video for Euphoria with him, Kabhi Aana Tu Meri Gali, and after the first night of shoot, we were shooting, and Dada loved to shoot through the night. So after the first night of shoot, he told me, he said, hey ladki, tere saath picture banaunga. And in my mind, I was thinking, haan, bahut dekhe. Because, you know, I'd gone through a lot of rejections by then. But he stayed true to his word and he cast me in the film. But that film, somehow, when he found Vinod Chopra as producer, I think in some conversation, Vinod Chopra told him, you know, why aren't you making a Bengali classic or something that comes from here for you? And he said, Purinita. And that's how it started. And so Dada kept telling me that I'm going to be Lolita. But then Vinod Chopra said, मैं इस पे पैसे कैसे लगाऊं? ये चेंबूर की लड़की, you know, इतने सारे पैसे मैं इस पे कैसे लगाऊं? So I went through a whole lot of auditions, video tests, not 40 and all, those are rubbish figures because, you know, online, a lot of people have said 17 makeup tests, 40, that's not true at all. But we did do a lot of auditioning for that, and finally, that's how I bagged the film. But again, Dada had faith in me at a time when I didn't have faith in myself, so I have too many Bengalis to thank in one lifetime.
Including the half Bengali set.
Yes, that's true. My first co-star. And I remember meeting Sharmila ji. She had come to our shoot when we were shooting Piyu Bole. And oh my God, it was like all my, literally like, my Bengali cinema dreams were coming true. You know, I was playing Lolita in Purinita. How can it get any better than a Sarat Chandra Chatterjee novel, you know? And then there was Saif, there was Dada. It was just magical. Shooting in Kolkata, shooting in all the places that stay etched in my heart forever. You know, even today when I pass by, I feel like, yeah, shooting Kiff. Because after that, I also shot many films here. After Purinita, there was Kahani, there was Kahani 2, there was Teen, there was Begum Jan. So I've just shot a lot here. And lots of ad films. And I loved it, and I said, okay, write the script. So every time he wrote something, he'd come and bounce it off me. And it was great for me because I think therefore I felt familiar with Vidya Balan from the very start. And I would just respond to scenes, you know, to whatever was being read out to me. And then he'd take that further, you know. So I feel like I've been part of the writing of every scene, though I have no hand in the script. But I've been part of the process.
I think that showed in the film as well. No? It was so organic. So
yeah, and you know, because film is a collaborative medium. It was such a fantastic process for me to actually see someone write a script from scratch, and a brilliant mind like Shujoy. You know, so it was like, and that was a thriller, right? So it's a completely different, the red herrings, it was fantastic.
So what's your method as an actor? You've done a wide spectrum of roles. I know you look for characters who are flawed characters, not perfection characters. So what's your prep when you get a role that you're going to sink your teeth into?
I read the script quite a few times. And more important than reading it by myself, I sit with the director because I like to know how he or she is looking at it. You know, because it's finally the director's vision that we are living out on screen. So that's very important for me, to know the character, to know the character's world, to just, I think that process is very precious. And if there is, of course, any skill that requires to be learned or acquired for that film, then there's that prep also. But otherwise, it's largely with the director.
Um, who were your role models when you were planning to become an actor, or when you set your mind on that goal? Because you're not trained.
Yeah,
as
not
an
at all
actor.
trained. I think there were quite a few. I think I've been Eklavya to many, to a lot of actors and directors whose work I've watched, and you know that has moved me. But I think Madhuri Dixit ignited that desire in me to be an actor, and Shabana Azmi was the kind of actor I wanted to be, and equally Sridevi was that kind of actor that I wanted to be. So it was like I always felt like, why can't there be, you know, a Shabana and a Sridevi
Together.
yeah, together. And I think I find, but lots, you know, there's Tabu, there's Rekha ji, there's Meena Kumari, there's Madhuri Di, um, so many. I can keep counting. Performances of various actors in various films. So, you know, because I've not watched all films of all actors, but there are performances of these actors that have impacted me deeply.
Right.
Yeah.
That's incredible. But also with, we've just spoken about Madhuri, so let's bring it to Bhool Bhulaiya 3.
Yeah.
And that's on record the biggest grosser in your career.
Yes.
You've had wonderful commercial films. In fact, with Vidya, I think what's really exceptional is the fact that she's done female-led roles. She's pioneered that whole journey of female-led roles, but which also speak in numbers, which have also been commercially viable. So that's a fantastic space that you inhabit.
Thank you.
So with Bhool Bhulaiya 3, what made you say yes to the film? What did you feel when you had to do that dance sequence, which has been so viral and so watched?
You know, when Bhool Bhulaiya 2 was offered to me, I was a bit skeptical because Bhool Bhulaiya has given me a lot. So I was like, I didn't want to touch it. I didn't want to taint it in any way. But then I think something in me changed. I think we all learn and grow and evolve and watch and feel differently. And I felt like I want to do a fun film, you know, and that's when Bhool Bhulaiya 3 got offered to me. And I felt it was a very well written script. You know, it was an entertaining script on paper. And I knew that with Anis Bazmi, it would only go a few notches higher. I hadn't done this kind of film in a long time, you know, so I was itching to do it. And then they told me that initially the song was going to be Pictures of Me because it originally has me in the film. So I was like, fine. Anyway, I knew I would have to work hard because it's dancing, and dancing I don't regard as one of my fortes. So I knew I'd have to work hard. Then Madhuri ma'am said yes to doing the film. And I had a feeling that now they're going to tell me, you know, obviously you'd want to max it if you have Madhuri Dixit in the film. And they told me, they said, we were thinking, why don't we have a dance-off between you and me, you and her? And I was like, I was initially nervous, but I also thought to myself that, you know, I've danced in front of the mirror to Ek Do Teen for I don't know how many times as a kid. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to share screen space with her in a dance. And I thought that, you know, I'll do my best. I don't know about matching up to her and all that. My attempt was not even that, honestly. I just wanted to enjoy the process, this opportunity, because it's such an honor for me. And I'm glad it happened. She was very generous. She was lovely. So that made things very easy.
Hopeful, and I think all we imagine as light is in the theaters, and that itself is such a big thing. Have you seen the film?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard
Oh, yeah.
wonderful
I'm
things
sure
about
lots of
it.
people here must have seen it. It's running in the theaters here in
Right,
Calcutta.
right.
And yesterday, as I was watching one of the festival films, I was like, boy, do I love my city, my birth city. Because if that hall holds 400 people, there were 600 people who just come, sat
But
on the
that's-
carpet, sitting on the stairs. There were people standing for 2 hours watching this Chinese film, and it's a heavy, dark, sad film.
But that's
like
why-
hats off. This
that's
happens
why
in
I
Kerala,
said-
it happens in Bengal.
Yeah,
That's-
absolutely. And
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. You know, they're so passionate about cinema that it's always very, it feels good to come and promote a film here also, any kind of film.
Yeah.
It's not just one kind of film that you can trust a Bengali to go to. They have an appetite for all kinds of cinema, which is cinema loving people, I guess.